What's going on? My name is Joe Petrie coming to you on this Thursday afternoon live. I'm just double checking, making sure I am actually live and I'm going to the places that I need to be. If you're joining me right now, my name is Joe Petrie, and today's Facebook Live, I want to talk to you about oh gosh, I think if you've been in network marketing for more than 4 years or even a year or even a month or even a week, you might have been told this. If you've been told this, drop one in the comments. You've been told that everybody is a prospect, that everybody with a pulse is somebody you should be putting your business or product or service in front of. I was told that. In fact, I know people who are still telling people that, and that's okay. I never want any of these live videos to come off like I'm judging other people. Um, but I also, and you know, how they're telling them how they're telling people to build their business, how they're telling people to, you know, share their passion, share their excitement with people. But I do want to share what I'm learning and what I believe to be a better way, because like you, when I was first getting started, God, how long ago was that? I was 12 years ago when I first started. And I started part-time. If you don't know who I am, I started part-time in network marketing, health and wellness, network marketing company. Just wanted to make enough money to cover the programs and supplements that I was using. And then soon it eventually turned into a full-time, part-time income, meaning like I was doing it part-time, earning a full-time income. And if I'm looking at different places, I'm also checking my notes and checking the screen, and I'm checking this camera over here. I got two cameras going today. Excited. But yeah, and if you're just joining me, say hi in the comments. Let me know who you are, where you're from. Drop the word replay if you're catching me on the replay. I'm doing my very first Instagram live over here, so that's kind of exciting. Not really. um, but why not? I have an extra camera. Why not go on Instagram, say hi to everybody over there? So I'm also, you know, streaming in multiple places. But yeah, I digress. Back into the topic at hand. It was frustrating. But like at the same time, when you're new and you're being told to do something, you don't really know what that means. It's just like, okay, I'm just going to go start talking to everybody and inviting them to look at my presentation, inviting them to look at this video, inviting them to take a look at my product. And that's okay, right? Because what happened with me in my business when I got started, like I'm super excited about my opportunity. I want to be excited about my opportunity. I've been in it for 12 years and I've been successful at it, which is also two things that are very, I feel, sometimes uncommon inside the network marketing space. To be with one company for 12 years, but also make a full-time income with one company during that time period, right? So when I started, I was just excited. I mean, I'm very outgoing. I love talking to people, and my excitement becomes contagious. It was really easy for me to kind of put the information in front of someone and let them make the decision. And my excitement also kind of spilled over to help them become excited, right? I mean, if you're like me and you're passionate about your opportunity, you know, drop a explosion in the comments. I got nothing. I'm just gonna talk. And you know, but like, it wasn't really an effective strategy when growing and duplicating and teaching others to build their businesses as well, because not everyone has the excitement that I had. Not everyone has my personality, and that's cool. Everyone's unique and everyone's individualized. So I struggled early on learning the process and finding a system that I could teach my team, that they could plug into, and that they could also find similar success, right? So, you know, and I went through the home party system, grinding it out, traveling all over the state for, you know, doing home parties, sharing the presentations, people trying and tasting the product. And it was fun. It was social. It was exciting. But just the time consumption in that, just the lack of turnout, the lack of interest, it was grinding. And it did not like move beyond me, did not move beyond anyone that I brought into this business. And eventually what I started seeing was people were still taking kind of that same mentality, that same strategy of talking to everybody, but they're transitioning to where it was online, whether it was through message boards or, Facebook groups, or even just sitting on different Facebook pages and messaging those people who maybe had a comment on the pages and just dropping, a DM. Like back then they weren't called DMs. So it was just a private message, a PM private message. Now a DM is direct message. That's how old I am. I also built my business on MySpace. That was an interesting time and place back then. But yeah, I mean, it was just, people would just kind of join me because of my excitement for what I had to share and because of the results and my transformation that I was getting by using these programs and products. But it was also a struggle because, let's be honest too, I didn't want to do home parties. I really didn't, but I also wanted my team to be successful. That's why I did them. Like, again, I could talk to anybody and share my excitement with what I was doing, and they would either buy something or sign up as a distributor themselves. But to have them turn around when I'm not there and do that was very few and far between, right? Like, it's either you kind of had it or you didn't. We had what's known as third-party tools, something other than you that shares the information. But again, I just found it difficult for people to do. So that's why I adopted the home party, not necessarily for me, but for my team. So they could also, carry on the torch without me having to be there, without my excitement. But again, nobody, I don't know. I talk to my wife about this all the time when we get still invited to a random home party. We're like, who's still doing home parties? Who wants to do a home party? And more importantly, who wants to go to one and be sold to? I know I didn't, but I did them because I also knew people would come and buy because they felt obligated and to excite the new coach or the new prospect or the new distributor, right? But over time, that wore out. And as I'm building this business and as I'm struggling, even though I'm having success, even though I'm struggling with trying to find, something to do, I'm looking under the hood and I'm asking other people in the network marketing space what you are doing, right? How are you doing it? How are you creating success? And a lot of people are like, oh, I do it online. I do it online. I was like, all right, well, what are you doing online? And when I started figuring out what people were doing online, I don't want to do that either. Now, let me ask you this. If you were told to talk to 100 people a day, strangers online, would you do it? Some people have no problem because maybe they're more introverted, maybe they're shyer than I am. And talking to a computer or messaging a screen is a lot easier than the 3-foot rule that we're taught, is to talk to everybody with a pulse, anybody who's around you, try to, get a business card in their hand, try to get their information, try to tell them to the next event, trying to get them to the next webinar, like grocery store clerks, baggage clerks, people in the mall. Like, that's the 3-foot rule. And then I'm like, no way, I'm not doing that either. So it was like, either I continue to kind of talk to strangers in real life and try to find them, or I sit on a computer screen and I start cold messaging or spamming my friends, family, and strangers in different groups and different news feeds. And I was like, well, every day, I'm like, how many people are you doing? And the numbers I was getting back were ridiculous, right? When I was talking to people, when I was coaching people to talk to people like in real life, inviting people to take a look at the product or the opportunity, people, it was like 2 a day, right? Just talk to 2 people a day. Anybody can do 2. That's why the number is 2, because anybody can do it. I'm being told by some of these top earners that they're messaging 50 up to 100 people a day on social media. And that's why it's called Scorched Earth. It's like napalm. You're just dropping messages everywhere and scorching the earth of strangers that may or may not be interested, most likely not interested in your product or service or opportunity. And I'm just watching this, and I'm watching the time, and I'm just like, and I'm in this, and I'm stuck. This is probably about like 3 years ago, and I'm stuck with like, which direction do I go? What do I tell my team? Because to be completely transparent, I'm also telling my team that they should be messaging people on social media, like 10, 12 people a day. I'm not telling them the crazy numbers because I think that's crazy, because it's not just 50 to 100 people a day. You're talking 50 to 100 people every day. At the end of the week, that's 700 people that you had somehow spammed. That's how I look at it. If you don't look at it that way, great. I'm glad you have a different mindset than me. But for me, when you don't know somebody and you're sending them a message to their inbox and there's been no kind of connection or dialogue happening, that's spam. And when you're connecting to 700 people a week, and if you're actually doing those numbers, good for you, right? But if you're connecting to 700 people a week, you're also talking about follow-ups. You're talking about having to do this. And there was no, I'm like, and I don't have a problem with that, but I'm like, how do you keep up with all those numbers? How do you automate any of that? So it was really hard. So like, I'm being told by some of these top earners in network marketing that that's what they're doing and that's what they're telling their team to do. And I was like, holy crap, I don't want to do that. And then I asked a couple other people, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, I don't do that. I have my assistant do that. I have a script for my assistant that I pretty much wrote out, and I pay them like, $5 to $10 an hour because, they're from Thailand. They're a virtual assistant from Thailand or something. And they just send out these messages to people. So they're not actually the one doing the messaging, but when they finally get to that point out of like 100 people a day, maybe they get like 2 to 3 that actually want to get on the phone and talk to them. Then they'll schedule an appointment with them. And I'm like, I don't want to do that either, because most people I'm going to bring into this business aren't going to be able to afford an assistant to just scorch the internet of their invites. And that was a turnoff. And if you've been told that and you've struggled with that, let me know in the comments as well. But I was just like, oh my goodness, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. And so, okay, I started thinking, I'm like, all right, I need to learn. There's so many different paths I took. Like I took a YouTube marketing course I took, which brought me to the conclusion that I needed like a sales funnel. I was like, what's a sales funnel? And then I ended up hiring someone from Infusionsoft, which was a complete bust and waste of my money, because Infusionsoft is a mess. And especially if you don't understand the basics of marketing online, if you don't understand the basics of building an audience, the basics of a tripwire campaign, just like, and like, well, I don't know a tripwire. I'm like, yeah, I didn't know a tripwire either when I first started. I didn't know these simple basic marketing, like a freemium. I don't know what a freemium was. It was very overwhelming and very confusing to me. And so, but I was like, I need to learn this better way. So I started looking and I was like, all right, there are people who are running ads, right? People are running Facebook ads for their business opportunity or, product service, right? If it's health and wellness, they may be running like a group and be running promotions for this group. I was like, how do you do that? So again, I'm curious. I looked under the hood, started asking people, what are you guys doing? Turns out a lot of these top performers, not only were they hiring an assistant, to message these people, they also are hiring somebody else to run their Facebook profile for them in terms of campaigns, ads, and setting up like a funnel. And I was like, oh my God, they're outsourcing that too. And that's fine. I'm all for outsourcing. I'm not here to knock outsourcing, but I want to be able to have something that I can learn, that I can market, and that I can teach others on my team how to do. Because again, most people aren't going to have $20,000 extra to spend on an assistant or on a Facebook advertiser to run their stuff for them, to build up their page. That's crazy. And that's what I was learning that some of these top people were doing. And I was just like, whoa, I just couldn't do it. So I stumbled across something that I was like very, very skeptical of. Like, have you ever seen one of those ads where it's like, I sponsored 60,000 people in my network marketing business by sneezing? Like one of those outlandish, over the top, kind of too good to be true headlines. And you're just like, there's no way. But I was desperate. I was like, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be something else out there for me to learn, be able to teach others, and also be able to help grow my business and their business without spamming, without blasting promotions. Or, I mean, if you've blocked somebody, I'm in network marketing, I've blocked at least 5 people in Messenger just because I'm sick of the copy and paste messages. I'm sorry, please don't do it. And then there's some, and these are people that I personally know. If you're a stranger, I've never met you, and I get one from you, most likely I will probably reach back out and I'll start communicating with you, and I'll have a conversation, try to figure out where you're at, and see if any of the resources that I've learned in the last couple months to years might be of use and help to you. And so, because that's what I want to do, I'm like, I really believe what we do in network marketing is valuable. I believe we have amazing products and opportunities for people. But I also believe that somehow, some way, how we are doing it right now online can be done better. Because one of the things that I know that I love about network marketing is it does create time freedom if you do it right. But as I was finding out with doing home parties, with, trying to find people to talk to, people with a pulse, that takes up even more time as you create more income. And I want to leverage my time. I want my time to be valuable. And so I came across and how many of you, if you're watching this on replay, I've heard the term, the law of attraction, right? What you put out, you come back, like if you want, like, I know this was like, I actually applied the law of attraction to my wife. I'm not that handsome. So I tried to become handsomer. If I wanted someone with nice teeth, I had to take care of my teeth, right? That was like some of the things that, I was really specific about, because if I have fugly teeth and I want to, most likely my wife isn't going to be attracted to somebody who has nice teeth, and she has, if I have ugly teeth and she has great teeth and I don't take care of my teeth, why would she be attracted to somebody who isn't that, right? So it's just like the law of attraction. So then I stumbled across this thing called attraction marketing, and I was like, well, it's just law of attraction, but there's more to it. There's steps and there's methodology, and I was like, why not? Let's see what this thing is about. And this is what I was talking about. When I saw this attraction marketing formula, it was one of those headlines where it was just so kind of like, oh my God, no, you didn't. That's a lie. Stop lying. But you kind of have to go down that rabbit hole to realize like what this person, his name is Fernie, was talking about in his emails and his story. I'm like, it's true, and it makes sense as to how he did it, and it's a way better way of finding people who are actually interested in talking to you, who want to learn from you, who want to know what you are doing. And so I don't want to do the scorched earth internet approach to where I'm just messaging and bombing strangers. I don't want to also have people be doing an old school, out of date home party system where people are forced to either attend a party because they feel obligated, or buy something because someone just started something, and you just and I'm all cool with that. You should support your friends who are doing a business, but I also am a big believer that you should also be continuing to grow and learn new tactics and new strategies that are proven. And so this led me down a attraction marketing path about 2 years ago. And I'm ramping it up because I think I made a couple lives maybe a week or two ago where I said, I'm tired of keeping this a secret to myself and having it work for me and a handful of others. I want to start sharing it for others. So if you're curious about what this attraction marketing system is that I'm using and you want to learn more, I dropped the link in the description. Just go ahead, click the link. It'll take you to a capture page. You can get the 10-day boot camp that's going to provide for you an overview of what attraction marketing formula is and why and how you can start applying it to your business ASAP. And if you have questions and you want to learn more, please message me. That's what I'm here for. But don't, if you are doing the scorched earth approach online, the one thing that I ask is don't do copy and paste. I'll try to eliminate the copy and paste the best you can. I actually just connected with someone recently who was doing the 50 to 100 messages a day, and they weren't doing the copy and paste. They were actually sending personalized invites to people online every day, and they still got banned on Facebook and they still got put in Facebook jail, because even if it's not copy and paste, Facebook will be like, you are sending way too many messages to people you don't know, to people you don't have connections with, to people that you don't have a relationship with. So that's a red flag for us. And I don't want to do red flags. I want to help build a business, an organization for people who are doing it with passion, who are doing it with heart, and who are doing it in a way where people just are coming to them saying, what are you doing? Can you help me solve this problem? And for me, it's health, wellness, as well as now I'm reaching out and trying to, spread this message to other struggling network marketers who have been told to do some things that maybe doesn't feel right to them. And they might be looking for a better way. And so where I would start and what I would recommend to you, that better way is that attraction marketing formula. If you're watching me on Instagram and you want the link, I can message you that. I didn't know how to put the link in the Instagram. I don't know if you can write in it the way you can with Facebook. But in Facebook and then YouTube, it's right there in the description, the link. Just go ahead and click that. You'll get the emails. And if you have questions about the content that's in those emails, let me know. There also will be an offer for the ebook. I highly, 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 highly recommend the ebook. The emails are good. The ebook is better. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to all of you soon. Bye now.